live. But people, please, if you are watching us, let us know in the comments in the live chat.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Can you see us? Because it's a new tool which we are using today. It's called StreamYard, and it's one of the possible replacements for Google Hangouts on Air. We have a magic power of doing stuff like that. We'll be learning during the time how to configure it and how to use it. But this is not the most important thing today, because we are here finally. I can say finally with Ronald, who is joining us straight from, where are you exactly based, Ronald, at the moment? Yeah. Netherlands, yeah, exactly. What's the name of the city?
Naaldwijk.
I won't be even trying to
No idea where that is.
to say that. But yeah, thanks for joining us. And we've been just chatting before going live that you've started doing Umbraco projects something around 2 years ago, and you've made a lot of them, and recently you've been flagged in some of the really interesting, let's say, major topics around Umbraco as a product. So can you tell us more about your background and about your activity in the recent Umbraco topics?
Yeah, of course. Well, I've been working for 11 years now at Panorama Studios, currently lead developer, with a team of 3 developers, including me, 3 designers, 1 sales, so just a small company. And first project was around April 2017, so a little bit more than 2 years ago. And yeah, well, since then we've been building around 60 projects.
Nice.
So quite a lot in those two and a half years. And just recently, I think back in April, we did first project that used the Umbraco members. And well, yeah.
And it all started.
Then it all started, indeed.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, we've mentioned the security topics, and it's obviously in the topic of our episode today, because you've been one of the few people. Yeah. One of the few people who started doing magic around security and checks for security, right, in Umbraco. Can you tell us more about it, about the process? Because I presume that we are all curious how it started from the discovery to the final bug solved in the Umbraco code base.
Well, yeah, the discovery is actually really basic. I just wanted to know how the Umbraco members worked in the front end. Searched the code base, found the UMB profile, login, and then registration controllers. Didn't know how to use them, but they contained a lot of code that could be used in the project we were building at the time. And well, after that, I just realized, well, those are public controllers, allowed creation or updating of profiles of the members, and well, actually just did an email to security@umbraco.com. Got back from, I think, Sebastian or Shannon. Well, that was all around April. Did some back and forth to see how bad the issue was, how critical or not. And well, basically in those chats, those email conversation, yeah, we found out you could create well, members, not in specific roles. So that was well, one thing that might have mitigated the severity of the issue. But you could create the members even if you don't use them. Could fill up the database. Something, yeah, you may not want. Also, updating of the profiles was possible, and this the issue Stephen reported back in 2018, I think. from version 7.13, there wasn't even a check for the anti-forgery tokens. That was added in that version. Also, yeah, I would say a major issue, security issue at that time, but it wasn't reported like that. So I don't know, something HQ didn't realize, maybe Steven didn't. But I found out you could just use those tokens from other forms to also just call those controllers, those actions. So well, yeah, at that time the first fix was done by Shannon. Yeah, that's some additional data to the forgery token, but the validation of that data was optional, so also possible to circumvent the additional check, thereby leaving the fix open for exploitation. So that was the next chat with Shannon, which made the let me check an additional attribute to force the validation of the token to be a route called by Umbraco itself. So you can only call the profiles, the updating profile actions, or creating the members if you actually have a form to that controller and that action. So that will really fix the issue. And that was released in 7.15.1 and 8.1.1. But also the workarounds all just make sure the routes are removed, can be called. Well, yeah, it's also easy fix
upgrade, right?
Versions. Yeah.
This is a pretty big, quite widespread issue.
Yeah.
Affecting from v6.2, isn't it? It dates all the way back to that.
I think so. Yeah. I think Shannon.
I'm just checking 6.2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Shannon added some macros, added those controllers to Umbraco core. Initially, without the anti-forgery tokens, which was fixed, well, in a dirty way to be backwards compatible with the existing macros. But yeah, since version 6, so yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, long way, but finally it's here. And can you just say more about, is it your hobby, or it was just like by coincidence to find a security issue like that? Because I don't think we've been talking about that. Not everyone's contributions is so visible. Some people are just trying to help by reporting the issues like that to security at umbraco.com and stuff like that. And the process is entirely well known, but not everyone is keen to do so. So was it your hobby, or it was totally by accident, or just finding?
Well, yeah, I found the issue when working on a website for a company. I think a lot of emails in the conversation with HQ were done in my own time, as well as the fix itself. So
cool. Did we lost Callum?
I think so.
I think you might have lost me. I think I might have frozen.
Yes, you seems to be a little bit frozen. And also, Owen said that you are probably in the padded cell. But yeah, so yeah, that's amazing. It's great to see contributions like that, and we were all following the GitHub, and not only GitHub contributions and chats. You've been also very active in other threads recently, and you also shared me the link to your contributions for one of the projects which is used in Umbraco world as well, which is image processor, right? And
yeah,
you've been invited to be one of the maintainers right now, right?
Yes, James contacted me this week because he's very busy with the .NET Core version of image processor, Image Sharp, and he wanted to give image processor one little push.
Nice.
Because it's still actively used by Umbraco for all websites, basically. So he saw the contributions I did and pull requests, and just asked me. Maybe also because of the exposure lately.
Yeah, he seems to care about security, definitely.
Yeah.
That's great, and that's very promising. I'm more than sure that you will all combine your expertise and make the tools better and better with every future release. Then, congrats, by the way, publicly. It's great to see that people like you will help all of us in using it in a more efficient and secure way. Definitely. So but I think that it's a time for big high five, uRock, for you, for Stephen, and for everyone else who were mentioned in the Umbraco blog post with the fixes and workarounds for recent security issues. And let's keep fingers crossed for less security issues like that in the future, right?
Yeah, there haven't been much, so that's promising. But
cool. Let's maybe Callum is spinning. Hopefully it's not because of the tool which we are using today, but maybe the internet connection is not perfect for him. But let's use it and jump to some of the topics which were also released during this week. I don't know, Ronald, if you've seen the recent Skrift magazine release with two articles about. One of them is by Paul Sterling and Benjamin Karleski, and it's about Umbraco Cloud failover with Azure. And it's a really interesting topic. We've seen some of the implementations done by other community members in the past to have a possible backup for any outages on Umbraco Cloud. And it's great to see another approach being so well covered in the Skrift magazine. And second article is by Joke Van Ham, and it's titled "How to Survive as a Canary in a Digital Office." I haven't read this article. I wanted to ask Callum if Callum did. But Ronald, did you scan through the Skrift release, or it's
first part? I saw the email indeed, and I skipped through this article indeed. I saw it was about high sensitivity.
If we're talking about articles, we also seen Purnima's article yesterday about her recent work with Alexa skill for Umbraco called Umbraco Scoop. And it's a skill which is helping to find out about any Umbraco community activities such as festivals and anything else like that. So Purnima promised to release some of the code responsible for that, because we were at the beginning very curious about the sources of the data for those answers, for example. So we are looking forward to it. But if you want to check how Alexa can deal with some skills related with Umbraco community news, that's a really interesting article to see. We still don't have Callum here. That's very interesting. Yeah, well, let's hope that he will be back soon. Do you follow Twitter, by the way? Do you follow what channels people can find you on Umbraco community? I presume that Slack is more used by you, right?
Indeed, I've Slack in basically just GitHub. So not very active on the social media or other things, but helping out with code, with questions on Slack, or just expanding your own knowledge. I think it's especially with GitHub, with open source, I think the best knowledge is the source itself. So just browsing through existing source, might find security issues, but maybe also find little pieces of code you give insight about how something works, or how you might use something. well, within Umbraco or other projects. So
Yes,
that's very source. So.
But that's very beautiful in our community, that you can contribute in so many ways. People are also sharing a lot to let you contribute and let people comment, even to give some not technical related feedback to some of their work. And yeah, I also like to do some sharing of my knowledge and insights and even opinions about specific things. And one of those things is a recent work by Paul Seal, for example, which is called a clean starter kit. I don't know if you've seen that. It's a new version of starter kit based on open source theme from Start Bootstrap, if I remember correctly. Paul was teasing us about some of the features. We were also sharing some questions and polls about features which Umbraco community wants to see in the starter kit, and it's here. It's released. We can all see the code of it, and we can contribute and use it for our Umbraco installations. And it's really clean. I really like it.
8, I think. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And the second community work, which is big from this week, is another amount of releases from Kevin Jump, and it's related with the expansion pack for uSync, which is kind of additional tool set for any uSync users, which will allow us to do some more magic with migration of things between Umbraco installations, and it's in beta now. So it's if I remember correctly, it's for people edition, some exporter, and let me check what else, and snapshots. So that's great to see. I haven't played with it. Callum, did you play more with using extensions for V8 recently? Are you back here, by the way? Back. Oh, this London has a so poor internet. You can hear me normally, Ronald, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So yeah, maybe Callum needs to refresh once again. Turn it off and off.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
To be honest, I'm thinking about.
Oh, he's up.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on and hope that he will be back again.
Also, saw the announcement from Kevin Jump, and I think the biggest addition to the V8 uSync is the deployment between environments, just like Umbraco Deploy. I think that's a major new feature of the V8 version. So yeah.
There were some chats about how it will work with Umbraco Deploy on premise, and if it will be detecting if it's on Umbraco Cloud, for example, to not do the work twice, basically, because the Umbraco Deploy is doing the same stuff of exporting and importing things. So it's really interesting to see how it will evolve. And as we mentioned it in the past, it's always good to have a choice. So when we will have two tools to choose from, it will be a developer's choice, who wants to use what and when and where. That's great to see.
Where, indeed, because I reckon Umbraco HQ will only support Umbraco Deploy on Umbraco Cloud, but well, yeah, who knows?
I'm still playing with some features because I see some really interesting comments here. But yeah, coming back to releases, one of them was also straight from HQ and Shannon, and it's a new Umbraco Identity Extensions release with some Azure Active Directory third packages integrations, Google and Facebook. So it's also released during this week. And we've seen some two new packages, which one of them is the icon picker for V8. And one more is Umbraco Form Importer, which is something what I was looking for a while ago. And right now it's possible to import your forms from different environment to different set of forms somewhere else. And one more, which was something what we've spotted earlier during this week, is a beta or pre-release version of LMIO for Umbraco 8. And from what I've seen on Twitter, the creators of Elma are looking for some feedback from people who are using it for their solution. I don't know. We've been using it in the past. Right now, not so often. But Ronald, did you use Elma.io or any other logging services like that for your Umbraco project?
At first, with the raw plain ASP.NET MVC projects, we did use Elma, but just the local install, and actually just with Umbraco used the built-in logs, log for net, and now Siri log. So
yes,
no
so
addition.
right now it won't be so needed and worth to also plug additional logging when we have a great logging inside of the Umbraco core. But that's always a tool which was mentioned a lot in the .NET communities, especially. So feel free to send feedback to Elma if you are playing with Umbraco 8. Just install and try it. And guys, one more topic about the contributions. It's about RFCs, so requests for contributions or requests for comments. Some of them are going to be closed soon. I must admit that I'm not following RFCs recently, but I've seen some great discussions. We were mentioning some of the community members who are adding a lot of valuable feedback for some of the discussions. And Callum, I know that you've started some of the RFCs in the past. Are you following the recent chats there on GitHub?
So the one I opened was around a block editor.
Yes.
And the block editor one's closed now, and Shannon's actually been busy working with our prototype that we built and taking some of the feedback on. So that's going to be evolving. But one of the ones that was an offshoot of this was the TinyMCE editor improvements, I think, which are actually going ahead. There was a whole load of discussions about whether it should replace TinyMCE with something else, or if we can improve it. And I think we're now on our third proposal for the TinyMCE thing, which is we can fix what is there. And there's a final date on that one now. Oh no, that one's pretty new. Yeah, this discussion's ongoing. So
yep.
But there's quite a few community members involved in this. Some people that are pretty passionate about improving what we have. So get involved if you are.
Exactly. And the second one which you've flagged today is Unicore.
This is another one that came out of the retreat, but this has got a final call for comments on it now. I think it will be closed next week.
Yeah, I'm looking for those cool diagrams and the path. Yeah, it's here, the critical path. I've seen some of the discussions about it, and it's great to see that. I haven't noticed some of. I was not even thinking about some of those aspects when it comes to migrating stuff to .NET Core. But it's great to see that it's all being addressed during this process, and there is a really nice plan to make it done.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly in depth. When the discussion started happening at the retreat, it was like, oh, great. So what's it take to move to .NET Core? And it blew out across the 3 days of just, oh, more complexity. We're going to need to abstract that. We're going to need to do something about this. And yeah, it's not a small task by any means.
Yeah. So it's still up for discussions. It's not yet closed yet, so people can discuss. And Callum, one of your activities recently to discuss more things are barbecues. That's a really cool segue to some of the things. And in Netherlands, you will also have a barbecue soon in September.
Yeah, it's start of September, 6th, I think, 6th of September.
I hope it's better weather than today.
Yeah, we've got the same problem here.
Yeah.
It's in London, it's raining, and we're expecting a thunderstorm during the barbecue.
Oh, that's that's nice.
I was writing to someone this morning that actually I think this is now tradition, because for the past 3 years, every year we've done a barbecue in London. The first one got cancelled because of the weather and then rearranged. The second one, we had to be indoors the whole time because it rained, and today it's going to rain. So it looks like we have perfect weather everywhere else. It's just London.
At least you are delivering the promised England weather for everyone who wants to participate. So
we did 2 barbecues already in the UK so far, and the weather's been lovely. So I'm not sure what's happening.
cool. So today you are in London.
Yes.
Last week we were in Bristol,
Yep.
and you had some great time there. There were some pictures being shared. Seems like people came by in a high number. How many people went to the barbecue
I
last
think
week?
we had about 10.
About 10. So yeah, it's still a solid representation from Bristol community.
Yeah.
And next week you are in Odense.
In Unza,
Nice.
which hopefully we'll get a pretty decent turnout for. Again, weather questionable, but yeah, it should be good fun. And I know that Niels is going to be there and a bunch of people from HQ too. So it's a good opportunity to just have a chat.
Yeah, if you're mentioning Niels, Niels is back from his holiday, and we've been teased by his by his activity recently, and his focus around packages and packages v2. I've seen some posts on LinkedIn and Twitter, and Niels said that he will be focusing a lot more on this aspect of the Umbraco ecosystem, let's say, and we've seen some call to actions and call to comments how people imagine the new version of package sections, and yeah, that's also another way how we can make the product better, because if we are not developers, even if we are not developers, we sometimes are looking for packages or solutions to install and use in Umbraco. We don't need to always think about building them by ourselves. So yeah, I've shared some notes, and do you guys have any opinions on packages now, or are you looking forward to some new improvements in this section? Ronald, did you build any of the packages already for Umbraco, or?
I did one package, and I think the major issue with current packages ecosystem is you can build NuGet packages or just Umbraco packages. So if that could be combined in some way, maybe the easiest path will be for Umbraco to support the NuGet packages, because they're basically just zip files. With all the details, all the files you need. So I think that's the best way to address it. But yeah, maybe some other way to make it easy to just package your stores for both NuGet and Umbraco would also be
that's my
additional tooling.
That's my biggest issue with the packages as they are, because it's having to maintain 2 formats and build 2 formats, distribute 2 things in 2 different places. It's a bit clumsy.
No.
It would be really cool to get it to NuGet, and also because then you can start depending on other packages. I know when nested content was a package, you could say, my starter kit needs to include this property editor because I'm using it, or I'm going to bundle a bunch of helpful things in one package that I install in every project. But you can't do that with Umbraco packages easily. I believe someone, maybe Warren, showed an example before of being able to do that, but nothing. It's certainly not as simple as just going NuGet, install this.
Yep. So yeah, as I've said, we're all looking forward to it, and that's one of the steps which was mentioned multiple times also already. So I presume that it will be looked for.
Yeah.
Cool. And from the HQ side, we were also having some of the announcements. One of them was about the uProfile for August, and we have 2 Sorens being favorite Sorens from the Umbraco community, and we have their stories about their involvement in the Umbraco community, their recent activities and stuff like that. So if you want to follow the stories of 2 greatest Sorens from Umbraco community and their award of being flagged as a uProfile for this month, go to umbraco.com and see that. Another article was about new hire on Umbraco HQ, new support hero, SWAT team member, support warrior, not hero, but also the hero for sure. And yeah, Umbraco team is probably back from vacation and continues the growing. And Callum, you will be seeing the whole team next week. So
yeah.
So hopefully we'll have more details from the Umbraco HQ and team there. And one last article, which is something what I really liked, and we've been talking about it last couple months back. It's more technical depth story, how to use Umbraco with something from the outside. And here it's about the GTM and Google Analytics tracking. So how we can integrate it with Umbraco forms and track some entries and activities with that really long blog post with a lot of details, steps, and some basically instructions how to configure it. And I was not even knowing that there are so many possibilities with GTM. So that's great to see and learn it.
It's really cool to see this from HQ, because a lot of this kind of content already comes from the community. But yeah, we don't really often see a huge in-depth blog post about like a how-to or a technical thing from HQ. So this is awesome, and it's from the new SEO person, I believe. It's not a familiar face, so it's nice to see people getting stuck in.
Yeah. Cool, and last but not least, some of the final findings. Our friend Arnold was finally awarded by the contributor badge from his first PR merge in February 2017. So
2.5 years late.
Yeah, better later than never, right? That's what people say. And also, we've been notified that there are some new members in Umbraco who will be responsible for running free webinars. And it's yet another way of learning how to do things with Umbraco. And I presume that some of the things like integrations with third-party tools will be mentioned as well. And the last tweet was about some great feedback after starting the journey with Umbraco V8 from France. And yeah, it seems like we are really getting there with the adoption and also the use cases. Callum, you've mentioned that you've started 2 big projects on Umbraco V8 already.
I've got 2 big projects on it. Yeah. So I keep meaning to do a big thread, because I upgraded one of them from 7, and it was a massive task. So I need to do a bit of a write up on that. But I'm loving it. It wouldn't.
Cool. And Ronald, what are your thoughts? Did you play with Umbraco 8 already?
Yeah. We started. I started, I think, last month with rewriting some of our own internal framework code. But basically, 8.1 was required for a lot of things, especially when you are used to how things work in 7. I think 8.1 does some additional things with domains, cultures, and so on. So we waited until that version, but yeah, at the current time, just the timings and being busy at home and also at work made me unavailable for.
Because some people mentioned that in the chat that you've become a father for the second time. So once again, congrats, and hopefully you will have a lot of time to rest and enjoy the period in between, and you will come back with a lot of more forces to help the Umbraco community with your great contributions as you've done recently. So. That's a great, I think, comment at the end of this great episode. I think that one of more call to actions is to you people who are watching us right now. Let us know how it was seen from the outside of this tool today.
Ignoring my computer crashing.
Oh yeah, and besides issues with Callum's connection and stuff like that, but feel free to share your feedback. I was playing around doing some magic stuff with this tool, and we are all looking forward to hear more and flag more amazing contributions in the Umbraco community. So feel free to reach us out, and I have also prepared some banners. Smash the like button now, subscribe, stuff like that. And be with us on the next Friday for sure. Ronald, do you want to add anything else from your side?
Yeah, well, thanks for the invite, and yeah, just keep on going, because well, I think just recap every week in this format is fantastic. So thank you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, and have a great rest of the day, and have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
That we've taken.
Yes, yes. Thank you for your help in Umbraco community. And Callum, have a great barbecue today, and say hi for every London community member there.
Will do.
And avoid rain.
Cheers.
Cool. So have a great rest of the day and weekend, people. See you next Friday. Bye.
Bye-bye.